Okay. Hello and welcome to the Predictable B2B Success podcast brought to you by Spratwith.com, where we unpack how to drive and scale revenue growth for B2B brands. Today we'll be exploring leveraging data-driven strategic marketing for sustainable revenue growth across global markets. Why? Despite the vast potential of data-driven strategic marketing, B2B brands still face significant challenges. For example, a study by Gartner revealed that only 22% of B2B marketers feel that their organization's data driven marketing initiatives are achieving significant business outcomes. Another survey by Dun& Bradstreet found that 41% of B2B marketers struggle with leveraging data to create targeted content for specific audiences. And a report by McKinsey highlighted that B2B companies utilizing data-driven marketing strategies experience 5 times the revenue growth of their peers. However, the same report noted that only 13% of B2B organizations have fully integrated data-driven marketing into their strategies. So we'll be exploring how we can overcome these challenges with our guest, Dr. Islam Gouda. Now, Islam, you are currently the Revenue Marketing Alliance Global Ambassador but have worked in various marketing roles in the likes of Mastercard and Emirates. You have a master's and PhD, honorary PhD. You're obviously very passionate about marketing, but I'm curious, when did you first know you would be a marketer?
That's a very good question, Vinay. It started in my early years of education at the American University of Sharjah when I took preliminary courses into different subjects. And I was hooked when I took a marketing course with one of my professors. And I found that it's amazing to have this course. It's just like understanding more about the people, creating and crafting products that's suitable for them and understanding their wants to create needs.
Mhm.
And that's pretty much what marketeers do with a passion. And I have a passion for whatever I studied before, so I figured that marketing is the thing for me because basically marketing is not a science, it's an arts and science.
Mhm.
And marketing is not about only understanding your customers, it's also understanding your company, it's understanding the market, it's catering to a diverse kind of target audience that basically you need to understand and you need to cater to. So it's not just like math, there are rules and formulas. There is the marketing gut that needs to be available and provides you with an insight on how to understand people and how to provide to those people. Marketing is very complex. It's not something that's easy to do. And if you read a couple of marketing books, you're not going to be a genius marketeer,
Mhm.
for sure. Marketing is transcends more than just being able to or having the knowledge of marketing. You need to have the guts. You need to have the the feelings or the emotions, the sensibility, the responsibility. Marketing with responsibility as well is key because basically marketeers they have a very like great task that they are being tasked with is basically they provide to the customers products and services that they use on a daily basis. So they convince them to use these products and services. And if you convince the customers to use bad or malfunctioned products and services, that's going to be bad marketing and that's not going to be a purposeful marketing. Purposeful marketing is marketing with heart and marketing with mind and marketing to people that you feel most deserving to whatever that you're trying to create.
Hmm. Now, you are the global ambassador for the Revenue Marketing Alliance. I'm curious,
Yeah.
what does that mean? Because I'm not sure many people have come across that title. So, what does that entail?
Yeah. It's a group of marketeers from around the world, from the US, from the UK, from different parts of the world. And basically we are in one group. We have events, we have meetups, we have different kind of content writing, content heavy content writing actually. We have content writing, we have podcasts that we attend, and we have different kind of activities that we are involved in as ambassadors, providing to our audiences a chance or to understand more about revenue. Revenue is something that is essential, and it brings both marketing and sales together. And Revenue Marketing Alliance, this is an organization led by Richard King and his associates in the UK, and basically they boost revenue marketeers and provide them with much more than organization. There are certification of revenue marketing. There are basically courses that cater to revenue marketeers to provide them with the insights that they need to ace their games, as they say. And we are representatives. So I'm part of the representatives of the global of the Revenue Marketing Alliance. And basically, we have meetups, we have different kind of activities and events that we do on a monthly or bi-weekly basis.
So, if I understand this correctly, you're an ambassador or an evangelist for revenue marketing, which is
Yes,
essentially tailing the not just the alignment of sales and marketing, but them coming together under the banner of revenue operations, as some
yes.
organizations you title it today, in order to drive the bottom line, to put it quite simply.
Yes, because basically revenue marketing is not something that is very established in different organizations
Mhm,
around the world. You'll find chief revenue officers required for some
mhm,
specific companies, but you'll not find them very much needed in some certain
mhm,
organizations. We discussed the fact that Silicon Valley is the pioneer that has started revenue marketing. Companies like Nvidia, companies like Google, companies like Microsoft, these are the companies that started revenue marketing. And basically, there needs to be a cascade between SaaS or Silicon Valley companies
mhm,
to other companies based on knowledge, based on exchange of information between both kind of industries. But again, it's crucial. It's not just because they do it that would other companies need to do it. It's crucial. It what brings sales and marketing together. Also, there are other metrics as to assess revenue or to assess the success of the company aside from revenue. But again, revenue is a crucial part of assessing companies' success rate. There is return on investment, there is churn rate, there are many other metrics. But the most important metrics and what brings marketing and sales together
mhm,
is revenue.
mhm. Obviously, being data driven and strategic in your approach are key elements of revenue marketing, I would imagine. I'm curious, given the amount of data that most companies are able to, that have most companies have access to, how do you approach analyzing market data to uncover new opportunities or untapped opportunities that can lead to increased revenue growth?
I used to work in Mastercard, and in Mastercard, we used to unlock the patterns in the data.
Mhm,
So, for example, we used to create new products based on marketing data and analytics. I used to be the senior marketing and business analyst for the Middle East and Africa region, and I used to support many teams, including the marketing team and the products team. When the products team they would like to create a new product, or if we see that there is a need for a new product, we go and approach the product team and tell them, hey guys, we see a pattern in the data, and we need to cater to the customers that are basically buying a specific product from a specific merchant.
mhm,
And we go to the marketing team and tell them basically marketing needs to be or a change to a particular segment of customers based on the data and based on the information. We used to do it in two ways. The first way is basically that we have ad hoc platforms that we go to internally from within MasterCard. Basically, these tools they provide us with data from millions and millions of banks around the world. It depends on the region, it depends on the country. And we used to uncover the hidden gems in the data speak,
mhm,
because basically if you see the data and if you start to analyze what's being displayed to you from the pattern from of the customers purchasing patterns, you'll see that there is a pattern for a specific segment of customers.
mhm,
For example, a big merchant supermarket chain in Dubai that basically they needed to cater to specific nationality. So we understood that there is indeed attraction from this nationality to this kind of merchant. So we created a co-branded card for that merchant, and that co-branded card was a hit because there are cashbacks, there are many rewards. The customers are already using the product.
Mhm.
The only thing that they needed is incentive. So the incentive is the cashback and the rewards that they used to have from the using the card. There's another example of a prepaid bundle of currencies that we developed. It's basically based on insights from different customers that used to buy around the world. So, in order for you to understand prepaid, you need to understand that the conversion rate or the transaction rate for the purchases that takes place outside the country or outside of Dubai
Mhm.
is much higher than inside the country or inside Dubai locally. These transactions they used to yield many profits for the merchant and the network, which is Mastercard or Visa, which is in this case Mastercard, and the bank. So there are three beneficiaries here: the merchant, the bank, and the network.
Mm.
Now, the prepaid card that used to people used to buy from outside the country, they used to have a dilemma, a predicament that they used to pay all of these fees in addition to the money exchange fee or the rate that they used to exchange the amount of the money from. So if it's loaded with dirhams, it used to be double or triple the amount that used to be charged because basically there's the transaction fee and also the rate exchange fee for
Mhm.
the dollar to from the dirham to dollars. Now we thought of solving this problem because basically marketing is about solving problems. And we said that instead of loading the card with dirhams only, we can load them with dollars. We can load them with different kind of currencies, up to 11 or 20 currencies that the customers can benefit from. And all of this because of the data.
Mm.
And all of this became clear to us because of the usage and the patterns of the customers that they use the product outside the country. So the data is very useful. You just need to understand what the data means.
Mm. If I understand this correctly, you're essentially following the money trail, so to speak, and also monitoring user behavior. Those are the two key takeaways.
It's not about following the money, it's about following the purchasing patterns
Mhm.
because the money is not always the indicator for the marketeers.
Yep.
People can spend like a man. I'll give you one of the psychographic kind of examples. Like a man can buy a lady's perfume worth $2,000, but he's not a lady.
Mhm.
So how can I like know that this product is not basically pertaining to that person? He's a man, he's
Yep.
buying a lady's perfume. Why? Because he has a wife.
Yep.
So we see the pattern and see the purchasing and buying patterns. So if
Mhm.
there's a lady's perfume, there needs to be some sort of a need for that. So we see the psychographics of the data instead of the demographic kind of effect of the
Mhm.
data, which provides us with a little bit of insight. The demographics provide us with a little bit of insight about the data, but psychographics they provide us with an understanding of our ideal customer profile or ICP,
Mhm.
which allows us to create targeting and hyper targeting for the customers based on their purchasing patterns. And that's why we can reach the customers more and we can provide them a product that suits their
Mhm.
needs and understandings of and our understanding of their wants.
The way I would put it is really understanding the job to be done in order
Yes.
to develop solutions for it. Brilliant.
Yes.
Given your experience, what would you say is the most overlooked metric that B2B companies should track in order to ensure their marketing strategies are actually contributing to long term growth?
There are no metrics that has not been used, but like B2B companies, they overlook customer satisfaction in terms of how the customers are satisfied with the services that's being provided.
Mhm.
Now, I can see that there is a pattern, for example, in when the product is being bought, when the product is being purchased, or when it's being sold, whatever.
Mhm.
But I don't know how satisfied the customers are. Are they like there is no channel of communication, and communication is key. Because basically, if you provide the product and you are in the dark, you don't see what kind of customer feedback that your customers is providing, then you are not in the right business. You are not in marketing.
Mhm.
And businesses has two functions: is marketing and operations. Marketing provides you with the product development, research, R&D, research development, research, customer competitive research, provides you with different kind of attributes, in addition to operations, which is basically supports the function of marketing. So if
Mhm.
you lack the marketing aspect of it, you are not going to find customers who are happy enough for them to repeat their purchases. Customers can buy anytime. It's not about buying. Money can be a commodity that's being used to buy from a certain company at a certain point of time, but money is the scarcity of money, or the non repetition of business makes the business mechanism falls apart, because basically one customer that we acquire as a company is much more valuable than a couple of customers that's foreseeable in the future. So keeping the customers that's being currently buying from us through repeat purchase. That's the key. That's the success. And that's how companies thrive.
Mhm.
So I need to understand how the customers are satisfied. And I think that this metric is very underrated in B2B companies, because basically B2B is based on relationship management rather than customer success.
Mhm.
And relationship management is usually with the RM, relationship manager, who assess based on their opinions
Mhm.
how the customers are feeling about a particular product or about a particular deal that they are part of. But that's not enough. We need to assess the overall divisions of the company that we're doing business with. It's not about the customers facing the decision maker, because decision makers are not always doing the most of the decision making. There are people who are supporting the decision makers in order for them to make the decision. Like, for example, the CEO, they have directors, they have managers, they have all of these. They become part of the equation of the buying success of the company that sells, or the company that provides the services to a B2B company.
Brian. So you've talked about alignment as being critical to revenue marketing, and certainly for most businesses as well. I'm curious, when you think about joining a company with this revenue marketing perspective, are you first ensuring that there is buy-in at an executive level for this to work, or is this something that you can come in and educate companies about in order to bring about greater alignment between sales and marketing?
That's a very good question. Most of the hurdles that like experienced marketing personas, they face is the non-alignment between both marketing and
Mhm.
sales. There is gonna be misalignment always, except for companies like Apple, because basically Apple, they have committees instead of departments. These committees are responsible for sharing the products that they offer. Like, for example, iPhone or iPod or whatever the product is, they have committees that shares the provision of providing these products to the customers. There's a very much alignment in the vision in Apple, and companies that are, I bet you've read the Blue Ocean and the Red Ocean strategy, which is a very famous article in Harvard Business School that was talking about how there's a bloody market, which is the reddish market, and there is the blue ocean, which is the bluish market. And Apple is part of the bluish market. They are very innovative, they are very unique. But you have to bet that there are misalignments between marketing and sales in any given company,
Mhm.
because we are people and people are target driven, and marketing would like to achieve their targets. They would like to create the plan, the strategic plan. They would like to target customers, and sales, they would like to achieve targets as well. So marketing oversees the provision of providing the sales with a plan, and sales go to are the go-getters. They go to the market and they try to acquire these customers on the behalf of marketing. If there's no marketing, there's no sales, and if there's no sales, there's no marketing. Unfortunately, people have ego, and ego controls our actions. And now, when I'm the bread earner of the in the company, like what sales do, they bring in the money, the cash, the ching ching, speak. So they have a control or a say in whatever the direction of the company should be, which is not particularly successful marketing or a successful management kind of plan. It's a management problem and a people's problem because they give control to a department over the other. Some companies they overcame this problem by merging both marketing and sales together. Some companies they have eliminated totally marketing and they are a sales driven company. Some companies they have eliminated sales and they are a marketing based company like P&G and Unilever. Now it is the how the market controls and how the exco or the management of the company sees the importance of each and every department, whether it's sales or marketing. It's up to the marketing, it's up to the management actually to decide whether marketing is overcoming sales or sales is overcoming marketing, or they should be working together. It's up to the management. The management solve the problem. And basically, when I go to a new organization, I speak with the management first. And I tell them, hey, would you like to get more marketing, which is brand awareness, create a need for the customers, R&D, and all of that fluffy stuff? Or would you like to have more money? Would you like to have more money? Then we will be a sales driven strategies that we incorporate marketing and sales together. If you would like to achieve brand awareness and if you'd like to achieve much more awareness about the products and services that you provide, then we will create strategies above the line, below the line, and through the line so that we can create like achievable milestones for the marketing department.
But that's an interesting perspective. I would have thought that having brand awareness is critical, even if you're a sales-led organization. Simply because you're top of funnel, if to use that analogy, needs to be quite full in order to be able to nurture potential customers over time. Is that not the kind of thinking that you bring into an organization, or is it a little bit different?
Again, it's based on the management because sometimes the management they don't appreciate brand awareness as being the driver of activities. When you go to a company that is very scarce on resources, they don't have the right resources to do marketing. They over what they think is market sales and sales. So it's either I decline joining that company and I tell them I don't want to be part of this company because I don't see myself fitting within the culture, within the goals, within the objectives, as you are not driven towards the direction that I'm trying to lead towards. Or I try to convince them by having brand awareness and brand activities. Now, I have customers that I consult and they tell me that we don't want to have brand awareness, but I'm a marketing guy. So I tell them basically sales is what you have to do in order for you to have the capital that's needed in order to you to have better marketing campaigns. Because SMEs, small to medium enterprises, they don't have the right capital. They are always on the hunt for venture capitalists and they are always on the hunt for resources. So these kind of companies,
Yep.
they need advice in terms of providing them with the tools to get in money. Now, how they can get money in addition to venture capitalists, they can do with sales. Now, with sales, they can achieve the revenues that they need in order for them to start operations and then create the perfect marketing strategies for the, or not the perfect, almost perfect marketing strategies for them to be able to create brand awareness. But sometimes brand awareness alone is not the key indicator for companies because simply there's scarcity in resources. And nowadays, the economy, worldwide economy, is suffering because of different reasons around the world. And basically, companies are feeling the need for resources. There's a lack of resources around the world. Some argue that why should we do marketing towards our products or services in a critical time? My challenge to that proposal is that you need to do marketing in the most difficult time of the economy because everybody else is afraid to do so. But sometimes, as I said, small to medium enterprises, they don't have the tools, they don't have the capital. So what advice they can get is basically to raise the bar for their sales strategies and then capture whatever the revenue that's coming out of sales to create marketing strategies that delivers on research and development, product development, and brand awareness.
Okay. Is there any advice you would give to leaders within the organization about bringing about a culture of collaboration between cross-functional teams, especially in fast growth companies?
We keep mentioning diversity as something that is very crucial in any organization.
Hmm.
Because if you are going to have a diverse team, then you are going to have a diverse solution to different problems. If you have a specific type of thinking, if you have a specific type of way of doing things,
Hmm.
then you are not going to thrive in this market that we are in. We are in a very agile market. We are in a very fast-paced market, and diversity is key. My advice also is to, because micromanagement worked somehow within the millennials,
Hmm.
somehow, but for the future generations, I don't think micromanagement will be something that's being discussed. I think it's going to be very obsolete.
Hmm.
I don't think that companies are going to hire people and micromanage them towards their visions. I think that the future of the positions that's going to, whether they are medium or small or even very high management position, I don't think that these positions are going to be just functional positions. I think that they are going to be critical positions. Even the small ones, they are going to change drastically how the company operates because the future generations, they have an overview and an outlook towards things that different generations, they didn't have. Baby boomers, they didn't have that. They are 9 to 5. Yes, sir, no problem. We can do that. Okay, that's fine. But the future generations, as the much more technology, the much more openness, the much more we are integrated to the world, the much more we are very novel in our approach to providing solutions. Generation Z and other, the alphas of the future, are going to be a little bit, not a little bit, more creative than millennials and previous
Hmm.
generations. So they are going to be critical in an organization, and micromanaging them is not going to be something that's doable.
Certainly, you raise a great point there. Um, and diversity is key, and I realize that you've also worked across Middle Eastern and Western markets.
Yes.
Given the increasing prevalence of SaaS companies that are able to launch a product and be accessible to a worldwide market, given your perspectives, would you say that there are things that they should be aware of, as in the leadership of SaaS companies, that they should be aware of when adapting their marketing strategies to better cater to different cultural and economic environments?
Cultural sensitivity, that's key when venturing into new markets. I think if I'm going to create a new role in the marketing team, it's going to be culture marketing executive.
Interesting.
Because basically, marketing is something that is very differently seen by different cultures,
Mhm.
is very differently perceived by different people. What marketing can do is to, instead of divide, is to bring people together based on the human traits that we feel, like love, like hate, like joy, like these human traits we should use to bring people together instead of just marketing based on race or based on ethnicity or based on age or based on whatever the group is. So we should use human traits like love and all of that. I think that's key in future generations and for future endeavors of marketing as well.
With a cultural executive, is it just to bring the sorts of perspectives you talked about, or is there more that this person would be able to speak to, especially in light of things like branding and meshing the culture of a geographic location with the overall culture of an organization as well.
It's a little bit of both. It's for example, when the human resources department created chief happiness officer for their departments, I think that marketing also can innovate in marketing and create a culture marketing executive, which basically understands what's culture norms people have, understand what culture aspects of a product people can perceive, and understand how people assess the feelings of joy and happiness and the different business culture objectives. For example, if I give a Chinese person a watch as a gift, that's an insult in the business world because that it's as if I'm saying when you will die. Can you imagine? Like it's just time for them to assess time passing. So gift giving and other cultural norms is basically based on culture. Culture is the main driver for people. Culture is what makes the baggage of humanity within a specific region forms. So I think that people or marketing departments they need to have a culture marketing executive in order to assess and research and in order to provide and contribute with research and development, product development, and other aspects of the marketing that's sensitive to the cultures that they are marketing to.
And given your experiences, how would you say that market dynamics in the Middle East differ from Western markets? What would be the most obvious ones to you?
Basically marketing from the US or the Western world from the Middle East is not very different. We have the same kind of techniques and strategies that we use from the West, and we implement. Even the social media channels are not very different, they are the same. The only problem is, or not the problem, the only difference is that zip codes, for example, we don't use zip codes in the US. Sorry, in the Middle East, we use demographics. In the US, they use zip codes to divide a specific region for targeting their customers and targeting the people that are living within a specific region. Culture and norms. There are like many nationalities living in Dubai, like 200 plus nationalities. There are many basically other norms like the Middle Eastern culture is very rich. It's very diverse and it's very how I say it, it's very unique. It's not basically a mimic of the Western culture. It's like the Japanese culture where they adopted something that's suitable to them and they have created a unique culture based on Western norms and based on the Japanese culture and created something unique and novel to them. So the Middle Eastern culture is the same. They used adopted some certain norms from the West, but they have upholded the Middle Eastern norms and beliefs and whatever that they are trying to uphold and preserve. The key that you have to have in order for you to be able to venture into the Middle East is understanding how to do marketing in the Middle East. And doing marketing is tricky in the Middle East because we don't have the tools like the Western world is having. Like the segmentation STP is very easy in the Western world, but in the Middle East is not very easy. It's based on gut, it's based on experience, and in order for you to be able to cater to marketing to the Middle East, you need to have that sense of understanding. You need to have that belonging. That's why I said diversity is key when talking about marketing, specifically in the Middle East.
You raise a great point there, which would bring to mind the fact that creativity is certainly necessary. Given the data driven approach that we've been talking about and the vast amounts of data that are available, I believe you touched upon the idea of pattern recognition while you were working at Mastercard. Would you say that there's also increasingly a need for creativity in our data-driven approach in order to better make use of strategic marketing initiatives?
Creativity is necessary in any marketing campaign. I always say that companies they did not lose their marketing creativity or mojo because they were successful at some point, but it's hiring the same people, having the same processes, having the same kind of norms and thinking towards a specific objective, having specific products that basically, oh, we are happy with these products and services, then let's do them and let's provide to our customers. Marketing is something that revolutionizes the company. It's in every aspect of the company, whether it's procurement, whether it's R&D, whether it's sales, whether it's whatever the department is. Marketing has to have a say in that. Whether it's HR, human resources, marketing have to have a say. And in my opinion, if you need to have a successful company, you need to be a marketing driven company. So marketing have to have a say in every kind of decision that's being made in the company for the company to thrive, because marketing understands people. Marketing is about knowing the customers, what they are getting from the products or services that they are using, and providing to the customers products and services that satisfies the needs and the wants. So marketing is knowing people and knowing how to deal with people. That's why they have to have a say in every and each aspect of the departmental organization that's being operated within any different kind of sector or segment.
And what would you say key elements or important elements of ensuring that you're able to hire people who are both creative and data driven in their outlook?
I'm not a fan of looking at resumes, because resumes, they don't give people their due right. Resumes are something of the past. Who looks at resumes nowadays? Like, they became obsolete. It's how people of willingness to work in a specific company who I would like to hire. For example, if I have a job that I have promoted to fill, and I'm putting in, like, I'm waiting for applications to be sent to me, I will not look at these applications. I'll look for the people who reach out to me and tell me, hey, I'm this and that. Would you like to have a chat? These are the people who take the initiative. These are
Right.
the people who come to me as an employer and tell me, I don't think that we should do this. I think we should do that. These are the people who have the initiative, the people who have the power to change, the power to create new products, the passion. So if I have a position and I basically advertise that position, I don't look at the applications that I've received. I look at the people who reached out to me, who have the guts, who have the persistence, who have the nagging. Who the naggers are the ones who persuade, and the naggers are the ones who create success and pass for success for the company and for themselves. So these are the criteria.
I was just thinking of another term. I was going to say, would you say that these people should essentially have elements of being evangelist of their
Yes,
current
yes,
ways of thinking and approach?
yes,
Certainly.
yes,
Okay.
indeed.
I believe you were with Emirates during a time when they surpassed the existing industry key players and
Mhm.
became what they are today. And I'm curious, how much of branding and messaging was key to that journey? I'm sure there was a lot of it was a capital intensive exercise, but put that
Yes.
aside, how much of branding and marketing was key to it? And yeah, how could we
It's very
use?
crucial. It was very crucial, actually. We, like, before we invested any kind of branding, we hired a company that used to provide us with third party research. And I told them, basically, we need to understand what the customers are thinking about this brand. We need to understand how we cater to the customers, because they have different 13 business brands that's operating under them. So we need to understand how the customers are thinking, what their perception about Emirates Transport, and what their perception about the service provision by this company. So we created some sort of a third party research company that we hired, and basically they provided us with an insight that we are catering only to government organizations, and we got some key insights that provided us with the ability to change the touch points of the company and change the overall look and feel of the company to cater to private sector companies as well. So we engage in many discussions and many activities that allowed us to be better at our marketing, be better at our craft, and provide better services and better products to our customers.
So, again, you're looking for insights that you could utilize. Was there any other aspect of being customer centric that you felt played a key role in your approach?
Customer centricity is key in any kind of function, specifically in marketing. But sometimes customer centricity is not taken as crucial as part of the strategy, overall strategy, because you have other stakeholders in the company, like you have shareholders, you have people who are part of the management, you have different kind of stakeholders. So customer centricity depends on which customer that you are trying to discuss the centricity with. Is it internal customer, is it external customer? A holistic approach for marketing was necessary for some of the positions that I was in. But customer centricity for Masar Solutions, for example, was key because basically we catered to customers who were much more private sector, in addition to other companies that are B2B and B2C, some B2G, some internal customers. We had a holistic feeling at Masar Solutions, and we had a very overall look and feel for the company and for the customers that we used to deal with.
And would you provide any advice to companies that are looking to not to balance both long-term strategies as well as short-term strategies, and adapt their marketing approach accordingly?
Again, it depends on the management intention of doing things. Like some management, they are looking towards brand awareness. They are looking towards making above the line, below the line, and through the line activities. They are marketing centric. Some companies, they are sales centric. They are looking to do sales on the short term. They are looking for a very quick cycle of doing revenue. They are not looking towards bringing in profits on the long run. That's why revenue marketing comes in place, because revenue looks at short term strategies to bring in money from sales and marketing both together. So it depends on the management. But my advice is to don't compromise the short term over the long term, and don't overthink the long term, because the
Okay.
long term people who are working in the company can change on the long term. So the long term is not 10, 20 years. The long term is 5 years, 3 years maximum. This is what I consider the long term. And by the way, the long and short term kind of aspects of looking at things have changed in companies. Nowadays companies, they work milestone based on milestone. So once they achieve a milestone, they go to the next milestone. So the thinking of short term and long term approach to things have changed nowadays.
We've covered a fair bit of ground, and I'm wondering, with data driven strategic marketing and revenue marketing, are there perhaps a couple of areas that you feel don't get talked about very much? If so, what would they be?
Revenue marketing is very holistic. The only thing that does not come to on the scene when it comes to revenue marketing is basically how to get certified as a revenue marketeer. Like for example, if you get a course in marketing, you are apt to or partially apt to do marketing. If you a veteran salesperson or a veteran sales manager, you're apt to do sales. But how you can be certified in revenue? How can you be a revenue marketeer per se? And that's what Revenue Marketing Alliance is doing, is certifying people in order for them to be part of the network of revenue marketeers, and they are certified enough to have the expertise, the courses that they need to take in order for them to be able to do their jobs at the proper level. So anyone who's looking to do some certification in revenue marketing, they should be in contact with the Revenue Marketing Alliance and they will be certified.
We can include a link to that in the show notes. Islam, if listeners are curious, want to find out more or connect with you, where would you recommend they head to?
Before we get to that point, I would like to highlight that basically I have a book. It's called SMEs and Marketing Guide through COVID-19. I wrote it in 2022. It's a fantastic book about SMEs and a guide to provide overcoming problems and overcoming obstacles, whether it's COVID, whether it's a pandemic, whether it's a financial hit. I have another book, which is an audiobook. It's called North Pole Musical, a New Year's Wish, which is my story of becoming a storyteller. Basically, if you Google that book, you are going to find much more about the what it provides of a little girl called Emma that travels to the North Pole. It's a little bit and it's a fiction. It's a fictional story. I have a project that's called 100 Minutes to Acing Your Marketing Game. It's dedicated to all marketeers around the world because I have a passion for marketing. It's being dubbed right now to Spanish, Arabic, and Italian. And it's going to be complete hopefully by the end of this year. I'm going to complete the whole series of 100 minutes. So if you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach out to me via LinkedIn. My name is Islam Gouda. I'm the marketing maestro. If you would like to reach me by email, islamgouda@hotmail.com, or if you would like to reach me by sending me a DM or message on LinkedIn, I'm very happy to help you at any time. I provide consultancies to companies, brands, and individuals in the marketing realm. And if anyone would like to have a consultant that's working on basically providing rich experience from different backgrounds, from different cultures, from different companies, I'm the guy who you would like to speak with. And you can reach out to me at any time.
A couple of questions. Given your journey to date, what would you say is your personal area of strength?
My personal area of strength is the consistency, persistence, and knowledge. Love for knowledge. I love to be consistent in all aspects. There's no aspect that I'm not consistent in. If I do something, I do it on a regular basis. Persistent means that if I have a goal or if I have something in mind that I would like to achieve, I achieve it, whether it's a personal goal, whether it's a corporate goal. And persistence, consistency, and I forgot the third one.
Knowledge.
No worries. Anyways, I love knowledge, love to
Yeah.
knowledge. I love to educate myself. It's been a long hour. Sorry, Vinay. I love the love of knowledge because basically a marketeer is as much as knowledge as they understand or get from the market. People who stay stagnant in the marketing world will not advance. And people who basically practice marketing for a long time, they tend to lose the touch with whatever that's novel in the marketplace. So you need to have that novelty. You need to have that new things, new stuff, that the strategy that comes from different other approaches that you read about in everyday knowledge or everyday education that you get.
So, in that area of strength, what would you say is something that businesses don't know?
They don't know about what, which part.
All three: the persistence.
Businesses, they are, once you become a corporate person, you lack the passion for education. You lack the passion for knowing new things. You just do a 9 to 5. That's it. And that's not something that's basically critical because basically 9 to 5 is something that's temporary. You can't do that at any time or any point of your life. But being educated or having novel knowledge provides you with an edge, provides you with the ability reinvent yourself, to reinvent your goals, to reinvent your avocation itself. You are not just a 9 to 5 person. You are open-minded person who perceives things as they come and perceives things as they are being perceived. That's my advice. Don't be stagnant. Be novel. Be everyday person. Start a new week by doing something novel, by creating something new in your life, and by being somewhere closer to your dreams. Because any person have personal and career dreams, so be a step closer to your dreams.
Brilliant. And my takeaway would be curious. I'd love to get your take on this with this question. If you were listening to this episode, what would you say would be your top takeaway?
My top takeaway is marketing is not just a science, it's an art. Marketing is not about selling, it's about relationship building. Marketing is not about products, it's about product development. Marketing is more than a function in the organization, it's the core of operations. It's what brands are built on. Many pioneer CEOs and CMOs like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs have given a great example about marketing. He said that Nike is not just a brand, it's a brand that caters to athletes, honors them, and supports them at all times. And as Apple is going to do its marketing, is going to honor everyday unique, honor everyday novel.
Hmm.
So stand for something that basically transcends selling your product and service. Be more than products and services. Be more than a commodity. Commodities can be replaced, but ideas and feelings cannot be replaced.
Terrific advice, Islam. Thank you so much for doing this. Much appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you, Vinay.
No worries. Let me just stop the recording there.